everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read Cuba Libre, actually it's Cuba Libre, Che, Fidel, and the Improbable Revolution that Changed World History, written by Tony Peretet. And I learned an immense amount through this book, especially, well, I already knew about Hemingway and his travels to Cuba and how he considered himself Cuban, interestingly enough. And of course, through the revolution in and of itself, they actually gained another ally in the form of Errol Flynn, which I thought, really? The Errol Flynn? Yeah. Very intriguing. And he was familiar with Cuba as well, due to the fact that he had done filming for Captain Blood, and he had gotten to know the seedier, more unseemly underbelly of Cuba. I thought, And of course, I didn't know this, but I've always liked Che Guevara, and I know a lot of people look at me like, why? But, I mean, yeah, he was a guerrilla, he was a revolutionary, but I feel like even though guerrilla tactics or not, I just sensed that he was doing things for what he felt like were the right reasons. And I think that's why America got involved when it probably shouldn't have. And this has been a horrible, horrible, terrible, atrocious return to folly. Because you can see a lot of U.S. presidents backing revolutionaries, and it never ends well. I'm not going to say anything about this current administration, but needless to say, Ernesto, or Che Guevara, he was actually from Argentina, which I didn't know. I thought he was Cuban, but no, he was Argentinian. I thought, But like Fidel, he had a lot of paramours, and a lot of women are attracted to power, and this seems to happen quite a bit, especially with people of this ilk. And Benito Mussolini was the same way, Stalin, Mao. I'm pretty sure Mao did, but I haven't really read anything to the contrary, so I can't really make that assessment about his character. Hitler did. And a lot of people who have authority have that pull, and even a lot of you probably remember Bill Clinton and that whole scandal, and we had our own issues here, and we still do, with a lot of the presidents that come into power, and women just, they think, oh, you have a lot of authority, and I want some of that as well. And they might not have that intention, but subconsciously, if they're smart, they probably think, how can I get on their good side and gain myself a seat at the table? But it's really interesting. This book is absolutely fascinating, and I'm always been enamored of Cuba, and I'm hoping I can actually go to Cuba. But yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time is Chico and Rita, and it's absolutely fantastic, and of course it exemplifies Cuba itself, and it's tremendous, and it doesn't sugarcoat anything. It shows Cuba for what it really is. And a lot of us might think, oh, it's a tropical paradise, but like a lot of Latin American countries, it comes with some baggage. Hopefully that didn't sound bad, but they're really wonderful people. I've got a couple of friends from Cuba, and I love them dearly. And they say I'm welcome as a spring day whenever I can come. Of course, I only speak Spanish, so hopefully I can brush up a little bit more on actually speaking Spanish rather than understanding, because I can understand perfectly. It's not an issue, but nonetheless, it's a very eye-opening book. It's illuminating, and just learning all these different aspects of the humans, the the nature of, especially with Che. And I thought it was funny because Che was a medic, but he was prone to asthma and a lot of other maladies during the time of the revolution. I thought, oh my God, Ernesto, you're no help. But anyway, they have that famous picture, you know, the one you see on the t-shirts that's cropped and him looking off to the side. Yeah, they have that photo, and they told who actually snapped it. There were women that were very important in the revolution, but they were not really treated, that they were treated differently, and there were a lot of liaisons and trysts and rendezvous going on. And the equivalent, there was an American, a Yankee, who came and he fell in love. He actually became part of, I forget his name, but he became part of the revolution, and he fell in love with a guerrilla, and he fashioned a ring for her out of a leaf, and it blew away, and she thought, oh my God, it's an ill omen, I'm cursed. But it's really kind of a fantastic book if you're completely taken by Cuba and like me. And it's just, it's good to know. And I don't think we're gonna learn, I'm praying that we do learn a lot from Cuba itself, and if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. It's not my call. It's the call of the people who are in charge. So it's all up to them. But that's all I have to say about Cuba Libre. And until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, Susie.